Rich people are becoming richer thanks to these 7 assets. Have you ever had a dream in which you were wealthy and enjoying the good life, only to wake up and be a bit let down when confronted with the reality of the situation? And then you start thinking, and then you start wondering, what would it take to liberate me from the chains of my 9-to-5 job? As you sit here and consider this problem, you wonder, what precisely am I doing wrong? Have I not been successful in my investments or acquiring the appropriate assets? Because the wealthy have figured out a way to maintain their standard of living while simultaneously increasing their wealth, even in the face of a devastating epidemic. What exactly am I doing wrong here? Well, have a peek at Elon Musk. Between March and November of 2021, he increased his wealth by almost 1,000%. And as the rest of the world continued to sink further into poverty, he became a ton wealthier. The secret may lie in how wealthy people decide which assets to invest in. Therefore, please continue watching to find out which of them you may also join in on. So, without further ado, here we go. Number 1, real estate. Listen to me carefully. The golden goose of any investment will almost certainly be an investment in real estate. It shouldn't be surprising that people from different socioeconomic backgrounds have tried their hand at investing, which has been successful for them. You may ask, why is it considered such a valuable asset, although it seems as freely available? The reason is that those already wealthy have figured out how to make it a profitable investment that ensures they will continue accumulating wealth. This is because they put most of their cash into commercial real estate rather than residential real estate. Doing so allows them to avoid the ongoing conflicts that arise from dealing with tenants, who frequently fall behind on their rent payments and even cause damage to the homes. Second, some of our more fortunate friends who prefer to invest their money in REITs, which stands for Real Estate Investment Trust, so that they may escape the day-to-day responsibility of managing the properties in which they have invested. Because of this, the wealthy can enjoy the fruits of their labor without putting in the effort. In addition, they purchase a piece of real estate that is significant in some way, such as a historic building or site. These kinds of real estate are less likely to be affected by market price changes and are seldom put up for sale. If they are put up for auction, it is anticipated that they will bring in a very high price. Number 2, businesses. A firm's ownership is another asset that distinguishes the wealthy and contributes to their ever-increasing riches. In addition to investing in stocks and bonds, most wealthy individuals also run a subsidiary company under their name, providing products or services to an exclusive clientele. Most people who become millionaires or billionaires on their own did so by seizing the opportunity to create something from the ground up. The setup company functions as an asset that generates income constantly and will continue to do so for them for as long as they choose. There are sure to be highs and lows associated with running any company, but believe me when I say that things will become simpler as time goes on. You should overcome your fear of taking on a task and create something original for yourself at some point in your life. Consider the many different personalities who might be a source of motivation for you, such as Warren Buffett, who created and managed his hedge fund with nearly nothing. We also had Janice Bryant Howroyd, who was not afraid to approach her mother for a bit of loan and utilize the most fundamental object you have in your house, a phone, to establish her employment firm. She used the phone as a primary tool in her business. Discuss the first African American woman to become a billionaire via her efforts. It's got to be her. To attain greatness, all you need to do is to start thinking greater than you now are. You need to take command of the situation and do whatever it takes to get your company running. After you've grown it into something substantial and profitable, you always have the option to sell it and use the proceeds toward the launch of other enterprises or investments. Number 3, stocks. We've all heard the enticing phrases of the stock market, things like how it's going to be the most profitable investment to take part in 2022. And trust me when I say that there's no untruth to such claims. The stock market rally is that valuable. Every single day, the stock market acts as a passive income generator for its investors, resulting in profits that total billions of dollars. The wealthy put their money to work for them in this way. They take a set amount of money out of their savings and invest it in a business that will pay them a dividend from the company's cash due to their investment in the industry. Even if dividend-paying stocks aren't the only ones accessible on the investing market, buying them will almost certainly result in tremendous profit and the least risk for the investor. This is the case because even when the stock market is doing poorly, the businesses you have invested in do all in their power to generate that the dividends they pay out are rising over time. If things go from bad to worse, they have promised to keep their dividend rate unchanged. This is since they are very concerned about keeping their investors. When this information is considered, it becomes clear that the stock that pays dividends is the most reliable investment in the stock market. Number 4, fine arts. After a long and trying day at work, what things do you believe the wealthy like to do to relax and unwind? Or on a Saturday night? What are your thoughts? You will find that you are more likely to recognize them at upscale events such as gallery exhibits and other activities. You might be forgiven for supposing they have a deep passion for the arts, but on the contrary, these adventures are only another opportunity for them to diversify their portfolio. Most wealthy individuals are constantly looking at the most valuable artworks. They are oblivious that the artwork they buy may one day earn them a fortune. Do either of these options not seem more appealing to you than putting your money in the bank or hiding it under your pillow? This light-hearted pastime helps them in 2 different ways. First, even before they are ready to make a sale on the piece of art, they get to have their house adorned with pieces that are great conversation starters while they are networking. This gives them an advantage over other people. Also, the values of works of great artists do not decrease. They improve with age, and once they have reached their full potential, they may bring in a very sizable profit. Another kind of wealthy people likes to amass as many priceless items as they possibly can to have a collection that is extensive enough to exhibit in a personal art gallery. A second organization offers the parts for rent to people with a sizable fan base. In any case, the wealthy stand to gain in various ways from the ownership of this asset. Because of this, the rich can continue building their money and even expand their fortunes by specializing in the acquisition of assets that will continue to benefit them up to 100 generations into the future. 5. Items that you can collect. I'm not referring to action figures when I say this, but collectibles, much like works of art, have the potential to become one's single most valuable possession. If the object you've gathered is uncommon, you may have what it takes to open the door to your future achievements. People will be even more inclined to pay top dollar for the item or items in question if they learn that the item or items in question have a lengthy and intriguing history behind them. Suppose you take the time to search on Google for some collectibles sold at auction over the years. In that case, you will be astounded by the amount of money people are willing to pay for strange things like cereal carton boxes or even what I consider ridiculous, a piece of a cornflake. If you take the time to do a search on Google for some collectibles that have been sold at auction over the years, you will be astounded by the amount of I can promise you that the number is in the millions, and wealthy people perceive an opportunity to enrich themselves by using them. The affluent have been known to hoard valuables such as coins and even vehicles, expecting they would one day fetch a high price when sold. Since antiques are precious possessions, this tactic has shown to be successful for them. High-interest savings accounts come in at number 6. Compared to those in the middle class and lower class, affluent people have a greater propensity to save money, while those in the middle class and lower class are more likely to give in to spending impulses. Those who are wealthy are made of different materials. They purchase the things they need and devise creative methods to treat themselves. After the account has been opened, maintaining a high-yield savings account takes almost little ongoing effort on your part. Yet, the account's balance will continue to increase provided that regular contributions are made. The money already in your account will continue to generate interest and profits for you even if you cannot add any new funds. Establishing a savings account with a high income may be a clever strategy that affluent people employ to make their millions go even further. They provide a lower level of danger than several other investments, and it is simple to get access to your money. Number 7, gold. Gold is undoubtedly one of the metals that have had the highest value from the beginning of time. Aside from the fact that it is gleaming and looks lovely on almost anything, gold is also one of the most expensive metals. Which of these commodities served as a kind of currency in ancient societies? Those with an abundant amount of it were seen as at the pinnacle of the hierarchy regarding the status quo. Because of this, it is becoming an increasingly popular investment choice among wealthy people. This asset has been used effectively as a crisis management cushion several times because it is simple to turn into cash and utilize it to either rescue a failing firm or buy shares. It can also endure the test of time, inflation, war, and whatever other mayhem may erupt, since it can keep its equity value for a much more extended time than other assets. In addition, gold is the asset with the highest degree of openness that you could hope to obtain. You won't have to go through laborious procedures to purchase or sell anything on this platform. If you conduct your business via the appropriate channels, the likelihood of your wealth being stolen from you is minimal. I hope you liked and learned something from today's video. If you want to keep improving and being inspired, subscribe and press the bell button to be alerted whenever we upload a video. This has been Market Profits Institute.